Hey there, and welcome to Mike Draws Comics 10-minute tutorials. I am Mike S. Miller. That is me. I am a 28-year veteran of the comic book industry, best known for my work on Injustice 2 for DC Comics, #1 digital comic in the world for like 5 years running. Also, New York Times best-selling artist on Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, doing the cover work for those. Now, doing Lone Star, my own creation, my own universe in progress, LoneStarComic.com. Do check that out. Today, we will be drawing Batman, how to draw Batman in 10 minutes. So let's do that. And let's get on over to how to draw Batman. Let me close this thing out here. Zoom back out. Let's see. So Batman, I'm not going to do the full or the half a figure again. I'm going to focus on the cowl and the head and shoulders and whatnot. So Batman, as everyone knows, is the caped crusader of Gotham City. And he's usually always got a scowl on his face, which is kind of why, you know what? I mean, I'll be blunt with you. He can get kind of boring to draw because it's like, hey, how many Batman faces do you do? He just scowls. Sometimes he will grimace, but no, essentially it's a scowl. And so he's Jim Lee once told me he likes to draw these guys with bucket heads. A bucket head is when the back muscles go straight up to the back of the head. So, you know, essentially it looks like his head is a bucket. Let's get rid of those. But for me, all right, we'll start with the basic shapes of the head. I think if you're here and you're drawing, you should know basic structural anatomy. Otherwise, I'll probably do some more lessons on structural anatomy at some point. But the basic design of the head, you know, nose, mouth, placement, and all that stuff, it's important to know. And it's important to know how to make expressions and whatnot. And like I said, Batman is always scowling, so he never has. He can't just have a good day. He can't just smile and say hello to everyone. He's always got to have this mean, deep set eyes, you know, with the furrowed brow and all that fun stuff. So you set your eyes in. You can even drop the eyebrows down even a little bit lower. Make sure his eyes are kind of squinty, like he's always mad at something. Then the nose, part of the cowl, the nose comes to a point, wraps around the bulb or the nostrils, and then wraps to the side. It goes out and then in to the side, cuts in. Now, okay, there's different ways to draw the Batman cowl. I draw it like this with the cut. Some people just draw it straight like that. You could do that. But I draw it with the cut in and then wrapping around the shape of the chin, the jaw jutting out further than the top lip, just because, like I said, that scowl, even if he's not showing his teeth and grimacing, he's never just a happy camper. So, once again, you draw the other line in here. Now, here's how I do it. Let me bring this in a little bit here. Deselect, please. I draw the ear, the bat ears up from the actual ear. Not everybody does this. Some, you know, everybody has their own styles. Kelly, what's Kelly's last name? Oh, I don't have time to stop and think. Kelly Jones. He'll draw just like super long ears. Some people will draw just like little ears that come off of the side. I think Jim Lee does that. But I like to draw the ears coming up from his actual ears and actually giving a shape that comes from the cheekbones back, because this is the natural shape of the cheekbone. It comes back, but it comes right back there, and then you can have another. You know, the top of the cheekbone is light, and then the darkness here comes around, and then you have this darkness here, and then this creates this cool shape. It's almost like a knife shape coming up at the side of the ear. And I did this when I was drawing Injustice. when I was drawing, and just I can't stop. It was a different costume, but whenever I had the chance to draw the classic Batman shape, that's what I would do. All right, now this again will be my breakdown. I will reduce the coloration on this one, or not the coloration, the opacity, and then another layer, brush, make it a larger pen, and come in with inks. Shoop, 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 shoop. Give it shape. Do some nice line weight here. Don't forget, point that nose. Point that nose. Batman has a pointy nose. All right, drawing the jaw. Oops. Line there. All right, the little details. And then here's the fun part. The spotting the blacks on Batman. That is something you do with a larger brush. Right? Oops. Too many oopses. I don't have time for oopses. All right, so with a larger brush, you can go in here and you can drop your blacks. Right? Like I said, this is the actual shadow line from the cheekbone. Come up. I kind of just fill that in, leave a little bit there for the top of the cowl so it gives it some shape. Drop shadows around the back of the jaw. And then, actually, I tend to just drop all of this out. And then use this shape here for the back. All right. And as I said, this flat plane of the face, first of all, that's a shadow that will extend out from under the brow. This doesn't have to be completely filled in black. You can still leave some texture in there. Obviously, the underbrow ridge, the under the eye bag, you need to give the nose shape as well. I tend to do this and then just sort of leave the nostril out so that you can drop a nose shadow on the side here. And obviously, all of this, it does apply to other angles and whatnot, but you do need to know the planes of the face. You need to know shading, all that kind of fun stuff before you kind of try to just barrel in and tackle, how to draw any particular character. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a ridge light here. This should drop a little bit of a shadow on the top here. Ridge light coming back here. Then moving down a little bit. Here, do I have time to give him some details in the face here? All right, I do want to shape his face a little bit with some hatching. Kind of bring out the lines here so it's not all stark. Transitioning lines, feathering, little hatch lines and whatnot. It all gives texture to your drawing. Let's blow this back up. All right, so he's going to have dropping a shadow from his jaw here, but that means that the back of his neck can be backlit a little bit. So this area here can be filled in. I could just use a paint bucket, but whatever. And then the Adam's apple, cast a little shadow. This ultimately does cast a shadow down here. And then here. Whoop. And that is 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. But I do want to finish up here and then give him a little bit of a core shadow down the side of his shoulder to his, or his trapezius down to his shoulder. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Turn off the backlighting. That is your 10-minute Batman. How to draw Batman on Mike Draws Comics. I'm Mike, and I draw comics. Thanks for being here. Like, subscribe, share. Please like, subscribe, and share. Bye.